What is up, App Nation? Welcome to another YouTube live stream every Friday happening at 9 a.m. Eric, I saw you last week. We're gonna do something together. People get confused. It's like, hey, Eric. I'm like, I'm not Eric, I'm Steve. But today we're gonna talk all about TikTok influencer marketing. We're gonna talk about what's working from TikTok ad perspective to influencer marketing. And then obviously we're gonna audit some apps. And we got some racy ones, Natalie. That's why I was like, Natalie, are you sure on all these, right? I was giving you the option to back out on any of the apps, but we got some racy ones that we're gonna check out. Hey, I'm just pulling from the list. I'm not like picking them out. It's just first in, first out. But joining me today is Natalie Rozenblat, and she is one of the marketing managers at Incipia, incipia.co. You got to check them out there. Gabe is a friend of mine, but they do their focus more on the performance marketing side of things. So that once again is incipia.co. Natalie, welcome to the stream.
Thanks, Steve. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for the warm intro and super excited to talk all things TikTok and then dive into some of those apps that you had sent over. Really excited to dig in and talk more about screenshots and keyword optimization, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, super excited to be here.
I want to tell the audience, I did a little bit more prep work than usual. And so you guys will see some of that right here from an ASO perspective. I really try to go, okay, let me think about some of the keywords. And I don't want to spend too much time, but at the same time, I did want to invest a little bit of time so that I can give more keyword advice as well, besides just the generic stuff. So I want to say shout out to people that are joining us. Reza, welcome. He's at the Writey App, so we're gonna check it out.
Nice.
We gotta be nice, yeah. Natalie, okay? Okay. Bianca, always here every week. Always great to see your face right there. And then, oh, that's me. And then what's up? And then Daniel here. David, hey, finally attending these live. Thank you, David. Just listen to the audio. All right, Natalie. Well, let's talk about TikTok. What are you guys seeing working well from TikTok?
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of success with our clients on TikTok. We set up a small test back in probably like May and really off the bat saw things take off. And really what we're seeing, it's due to creative wins, audience testing and playing around with like interest targeting and all that has some impact, but its majority is you need to find a creative win. And so we're doing a lot of creative testing, much more creative testing than any other channel probably, just because that algorithm works so fast. Like creative wins, you find it lasts 3 to 5 days max, and then you're on to testing to find your next creative win. So as we have wins, we're continuously still creative testing and basically trying to find and increase our hit rate overall. So that could be testing on just like different themes. It's kind of what we're focusing more on, where we have 5 different concept ideas, and then from there we focus on testing one of those themes. As we find a win within that theme, then we'll iterate on within that concept. So a lot of it is wins with definitely having an influencer. We're seeing that actually more so macro influencers are outperforming those like smaller micro influencers that we find. We're seeing that a lot of like if it's a game, showing gameplay within that creative is you do need that. And then just more so of the like organic, natural feel of kind of just, for it not to feel like an ad, but more so just that somebody is speaking to you, genuinely speaking to you. I think that our team spends a lot of time scrolling through TikTok and finding content that blows up. And then from there, trying to basically recreate that ourselves. And even if within that certain brand that we're working on, searching that on TikTok and finding inspiration from all these content creators who aren't famous and just have random videos blow up, we'll take ideas from that, or even reach out directly to those creators and ask if they're willing to partner up with us and create some content for us. So it's kind of like endless possibilities with TikTok and just getting creative with the different ideas that you can and want to test, and pulling that out of organic side into the ad side.
That's interesting that you say macro influencers, because a past guest of ours, I mean, he's doing something different with micro influencers and kind of using the micro influencers content as paid ads, and that's working pretty well for them. Why macro influencers versus the micro influencers, and what have you guys been doing with both influencers?
So on the we're kind of doing the same thing with both, but I think we're just seeing that more macro influencers are picking up than micro. Maybe because of the kind of just like recognizable nature of those macro influencers, rather than those micro influencers. And on the macro influencers too, like they know what they're doing, and it seems like it's a little bit, it just comes off in a different sort of like tone than it does with the micro influencers. So kind of a mix of those two is what we're seeing, and you know, why we're seeing, I think from our perspective, our hypothesis, those macro influencers picking up a little bit more than the micro.
Hey, Natalie, when you guys are working with these macro influencers, are you just kind of paying them to shout out in an app, or are you guys having them create content so that you can run as ads? What are you doing with the content?
So it's a mix. So with some creators, we're having their content made just specifically for the ads, and our design team. So we're full service at Incipia. So our design team will then chop it up, add intros, add a split screen of like, you know, what the app is. Other times we have the content creators themselves just create it within the TikTok app. And you know, the video editor in there is super easy to use. So they'll send us footage from whatever they make, and we'll just shoot that off straight away in the ad side. We've had a mix of influencers that on TikTok will, and when I say influencers, they're kind of more like native content creators. They're just you know, posting on their own pages. So we'll have them do that in addition to launching on the ad side. We've tried a mix of even publishing just like different endorsement stitches together. So that's kind of what we're focusing on now, actually, is just stitching together different footage, like reactions or just kind of like generic one-liners of all the different content creators that we've gathered over this like last 6 months, and testing that together. So trying a lot of different things. But so far, what we normally see work is where it's a split screen combo of the you know, the person speaking and the app footage itself.
Interesting. And you are telling the influencer to show that and then be like, hey, go check out the app, obviously. And then there's no swipe up feature like Instagram stories. So you're just saying, go search for X, Y, and Z app.
Yeah, actually, so no, there is actually a, well, I guess I know on the ad side, you say swipe left, and when you swipe left, then that's kind of like your CTA, and it takes you to the app store. And actually, what we're seeing is much higher click-through rates when we call out swipe left, like right in the beginning of the video. Like we've tried just a bar through the entire video that says swipe left to play, to download, rather than swipe up is what you get on Snap. But we've tried that, and we see much higher click-through rates there. We've tried just like a bar that appears every couple of seconds throughout the video. And again, like we see much higher click-through rates when we include that CTA than when we leave it out.
I apologize for the mic situation. I'm trying to get it all set up properly.
Oh no,
here.
You're good.
Coming from the onboarding mic on the thing. But one of the struggles that I have to working with influencers is sort of guiding them. Like, do you guys kind of just find the influencer? Is your process on TikTok be like, find the influencer and let them sort of control what the content's going to be?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it.
Well, so that's a good question, because our creative team has like we sort of have this thought that if we were to give them exactly like a script to follow, it's not going to come off as genuine, and it's just going to sound more rigid, and it doesn't sound as right. So we kind of take like a mixed approach, where we give a rough outline, but we don't say like, here's what we need you to say word for word. And a lot of our content creators that we work with, these like TikTok influencers, they end up coming up with their own idea and bringing that to the table, and we say, okay, let's try it out, like, you know, record it for us, and then we can kind of go back and forth. But for the most part, I would say it's us kind of providing like, here's what we're looking for, but do what you can with it. Like we're not giving you a script, if that makes sense.
Natalie, I got to ask you, how the heck are you reaching out to these people? Because I did try to find somebody. I tried to reach out to them and like nothing.
No,
Is it just a matter of sheer will and just continually reaching out to people and hopefully somebody says yes?
Yeah, it's it's a mixed approach. So we've definitely had that challenge of no response, but it kind of goes back and forth. So what we do is well, so there's this like TikTok content library or creator library that we do have as an agency access to. So that definitely makes things easier where we can like search and reach out through that platform. But before we had access to that, what we were doing was just on their TikTok profile, they usually have their Instagram linked. And from there, we would just DM, or from their Instagram, kind of like they leave a trail of breadcrumbs. So then from there, we would get their emails. We would reach out with our like agency email and, you know, propose working together or hopping on the phone for an informational. But yeah, definitely, I would say we struggle. There's a good percentage of people who just don't answer, or have just like ridiculous requests on like, okay, I want like $10,000 for this like 1 minute video. And so we definitely have found this balance of like figuring out the number of followers these people have, with how much they're going to request, like who is most realistic to reach out to. But we have a whole we have a person dedicated to just like continuously looking through TikTok and creators and reaching out. Yeah.
You kind of need one.
Yep.
I mean, it is
you do
full-time.
Yeah.
You're going to get a lot of no's. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, on that standpoint, Natalie, like when you brought it up, like the price point, what do you normally pay for these people? And then like when you say macro influencers, a two-part question, hopefully you follow. But when you say macro influencer, is it like $1 million plus type of thing?
No. Well, I would say more like it depends on the app and the client. For us, I think macro is probably anywhere from like 250K followers plus. And the smaller ones are like 1,000 to 10,000 to 50,000. We kind of group those together. But again, like I think it really just depends on the app. And same with how much you're willing to pay. Like if the creator has a really low following, like 1,000 followers, and you're looking for somebody to, and maybe like they have 1,000 followers, but they had like 1 or 2 videos blow up. I think on TikTok that's pretty normal, where their following might not be that big, but they've had like 1, 2, or 3 videos that just had so many views, like that they did something right, at least to get it to go viral. Then you can definitely offer, I don't know, I mean, our price points are obviously coming from like an agency perspective, right, but anywhere from like 1 to 200 for like a 2-3 minute video. And then at that point, kind of like working your way up. I think that sometimes people have, some unrealistic expectations, like I said, if they are a lot bigger. So starting a little bit smaller with what you can afford, and seeing like if creators start to bite, then you can work your way up after that, or negotiate to a certain price point. But yeah, for the most part, we ask for, like, we start to work with people probably like, I'd say on average maybe like 10 to 20,000 of followers, and from there, or maybe even higher, honestly, like 10 to 50,000 people or followers, and we ask for like a 3-minute video, and then from there, like I said, either we'll chop it up, or the TikTokers will just kind of create a couple different videos for us within the ads platform. The only thing is, if you do that, you have to it's kind of a little bit of a hassle, because you then do need a designer, somebody to block out that like TikTok logo that bounces around, and the top, I think, is on the top left and the bottom right, when you make a video within the TikTok platform and save it. So there's there's a couple of policies on using that TikTok logo, even on the ads platform, as well as like in other channels. If you were to launch it in like Google UAC, for instance, you can't use that TikTok logo that bounces around. And then on TikTok, it's actually not the logo that gets flagged. It's like the username that's at the bottom or at the top that's included with the logo. So a couple little nuances with actually doing that. You at the end of the day still need to have that blocked out.
So you almost need them to create two types of videos, right? Like one that they're actually going to do. How do you get it blacked out? Is it just the editing trick?
Yeah. You can't save a TikTok video without that logo.
Yeah.
So you need either, our designers probably in like, I don't know, After Effects or some other program use just put like a little, or yeah, pretty much just like a gray bar at either the top or the bottom or both, depending on where that logo is.
Nice.
So that it gets blocked out and doesn't get flagged.
I love it. Okay. I'm a little laggy. I try to exit and come back. It's still laggy. So we're just going to have to deal with it. All right. Aiden asks, hey, Steve, another great show. Thanks, Aiden. So Natalie, do you teach influence? Do you reach out to Aiden? Do you reach out to influencers with a personal account or a business account?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's just whatever account that, oh, I see. You're asking about, okay. Yeah, I think usually if you're the one inquiring, reach out on your business account. But if the question was, do you reach out to the influencer's personal or business account? I think just whatever information they have.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little confused on that too. I didn't even catch that part. I thought it was always like, is there a business account on TikTok? Or Aiden, give us a follow-up on what you meant by that. All right. Daniel says, Natalie, how do you track ROI on your TikTok campaigns?
Yeah, so we have an MMP with our clients that we just track back ROI to on the channel level, campaign level, ad set level, and ad level. And basically, yeah, we just kind of look at like how much we're spending, and from the KPI, are we hitting KPI? What's the ROI on the campaigns? You can get down to a single creative level. So if you are trying to track like your ROI on your influencer outreach, and how, how much you're paying for your influencers, is it coming across worth it in the end of the day? We can get down to that level with an MMP. So that's how we track ROI.
And then Daniel says, there's no dumb questions.
No question.
What is Google UAC?
Yeah. So Google UAC is Google Universal App Campaigns. It's basically Google Ads for apps. So it's a little bit more of like a black box algorithm. You give your campaigns. It's still like the same platform and like kind of like same back end and all that as Google AdWords is, but it's set up a little bit differently where you have less control. So you give a campaign up to 20 different videos, up to 20 different statics, up to 10 different text copy lines. And from there, you give it like a location, a bid budget, and it does its thing. And the only really control you have is pausing things out, restarts, bid budget adjustments. So, but we do see a lot of success with Google UAC. So definitely worth testing out for apps.
Yeah, like ready to get to the racy part of the show?
Let's do it.
All right, here we've got coming up. We've got Intimately Us, which is a fun and sexy app for couples. So interesting. Mm-hmm. The Drinkster app. So I kind of have their sensor tower because I can't see their short description, but the Drinkster app is another app that I've got loaded on my phone as well. And then this poker strategy app. And then lastly from Reza, we've got this Writey app that is a paid app and it's iPad only. And so let's get into the Intimately app a little bit, and let me pull up his email. Do you want to start off with this?
Sure. Yeah. I thought this this was an interesting app, and I think overall, actually, like the layout is really nice and looking and appealing. I think that there's definitely a lot of testing that can be done with any app. I think that some of the things I was kind of like playing around with when I was looking into this app was just looking at so on the App Store, when you're on an app and you scroll the way down and it's like apps you may like, just kind of looking at, I don't think you can do, oh, you can.
Yeah, you're right.
You may also like, yeah, cool. So yeah, I was just kind of like scrolling through that and looking at just what do the different like competitors, what do their screenshots look like, and trying to find ideas of, you know, what these different screenshots kind of look like in comparison to Intimately Us. So some of the things I noticed was that with Intimately Us, it's the screenshots don't necessarily give away exactly what the app is.
Yeah.
I think it's a little ambiguous as to like exactly what you can find. I think there could be some like headline testing, as well as like just kind of like zeroing in on the screenshot to exactly match what the headline says. I have a note on an app that I thought did that really well. It was, find it. I forgot.
While you pull that up, I've got a few that on my phone that I just looked up too, Natalie.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously I think with this Intimately Us, you're probably going to try to rank for couple games or marriage games or something like that. And if I am looking at these type of screenshots, it's like what is missing from their screenshots is the benefit, or what is it really? I have no idea what it is.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly
like,
how I felt.
Is it like spicing up my bedroom? Is it spicing? Are we just playing games to getting no? So like this one, it's like, okay, clear, dirty sex game for couples, and I've downloaded this already. So that's a little bit too much. I had a client. Okay, full disclosure, I had a client, Natalie, that is in this space, and that's why I have all these apps downloaded on my phone. And then this couple relationship game. You're making me blush.
But I totally agree. I agree. I think that's how I felt too. I found the app that I was talking, I was talking about earlier. So it's In the Mood relationship app. Like I just really liked how they're. Yeah, I'll give you a sec to find it.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I just really liked how they made it a little bit more simple and clear. Like you set a date, you can play a game, there are date ideas. Like each screenshot is really clear and gives you a look at the app and what you can do within each screenshot. They're still really simple, like similarly to how Intimately Us is. So it doesn't really require like a huge design lift, but it's just like more concise, like kind of what you're saying, like what is it exactly?
Yeah, I like it.
And no, go ahead.
No, David says, Steve, you might want to stop using your personal account. You might be true, David, but I think this is more intimate. We get to know each other a little bit more. That's fine with me. I'm an open book.
No judgment here.
You like how I only had the dirty games downloaded. I didn't have any of this like romantic stuff that you just shared.
Yes, no, that's hilarious. But yeah, I think just in general, like I was typing up like couple. So when you type in the App Store, just start typing like couple. The first kind of thing that comes up is couple games, couples dating. Just trying to optimize those keywords, I think would be really great. And putting in some of those buzzwords into the screenshots and even into like the title or the subtitle, I think would definitely help improve kind of like the overall message.
And as we're looking at other apps, I like how they're so benefit oriented, right? Like, hey, spice up your bedroom or whatever it is. And I think there's a way to add benefit with feature. So if it is get to know your partner better or connect with your partner on a deeper level with truth or dare game questions, or, you know what I mean? Or spice up your bedroom with dirty games or whatever it is that you have, that's a way to get sort of tie in the benefit with the feature that you're trying to.
I think so with this app, like their message is like they're clean, they're not as dirty, and it's just more like fun, kind of like that's their message. I think just driving that home a little bit more with like value props of exactly what you get within, you know, their main core like features of the app would be really beneficial. And even like I was thinking with like the icon, like I wonder if they could just, if this is solely dedicated and targeted towards married couples, like try testing the icon with like 2 little like wedding rings hanging off of like one of the letters, or putting more dating couples. So that was one of the few things I noticed. And with Android, like it's super easy to test all those ideas and get creative. And even like screenshot order, it's super easy. You don't need to pay money like you do on Apple. Just testing those around. I think, yeah.
Yeah, yep. I like that idea. And I think, go for it.
Yeah. No. What were you
saying? Please. You're the guest.
No, sorry, didn't mean to talk over you, but
no.
But yeah, that's what I was just gonna send that message home, that like with Android to be testing, like always be testing icon, title, short description, and screenshots.
It's like an Asian dinner. It's like, no, I'll get the bill. You get I'll get the bill. It's like that. It's
exactly
endless.
like that.
I've been a part of it. And it's freaking endless. All right. Well, what I was going to say was the couples games, like the title, you want that main keyword. If it's going to be about relationship or marriage games or couples games, you definitely want those keywords in there. Fun and sexy app for couples is more branded. It's not necessarily keyword optimized. So those are the things that I would fix for you. Let me go to the email. Daniel, oh, this is Daniel. Hey, Daniel's here. Okay, so that's what I would fix, Daniel, is those type of things are very important to have rather than branding. Like save the branding for stuff like right here.
Yeah, exactly. And on Android, you have so much room with the title and short description to like play around. And even with the description, like I think with Android, just a lot more convenient to test around and try to insert different keywords. Like I noticed with Android, actually, they rank pretty high, or I guess low, on the marriage counseling apps. Like they're ranked 9. So see if you can continue pushing that. Like I don't know if they're considered exactly like a marriage counseling app, but it might be worth testing to see if you can improve your ranking and get more visibility. Like, can you get to spot 5? And I think it makes it really easy to figure out kind of what keywords, if you don't have any sort of like keyword research tool on hand, to just start typing in some of the keywords on either Google Play, like online, or in the Play Store on your phone, or in the App Store on your phone, and just start typing up some of those letters and see what auto populates. And that should give you ideas as to like what is actually really popular and what people are searching.
And I'll share this tool I've shared in the past, just because you're here, Daniel. Yeah. One of my favorite tools is AppFollow, where I go into search ads, recommendation, and this is primarily for iOS, but you can put in, the biggest one. So like whoever ranks well for a couple games, for example, I'll put their app in there, get this. And then what you're going to get is Apple's search ads recommendation for keywords. And so you can do this through search ads, but this is AppFollow is free. And I like how I can do it easily on here rather than going through all these different steps, but it'll load a bunch. It's taking a little bit while here, but it'll load a ton of keywords for you and give you the search scores so that you can see, okay, it's a sort of like a brainless activity on how love games, for example, would be one. These are couple games, romance games.
Okay? Exactly. Yep.
So these are all keywords that you can go after, couple games, interactive games, versus what you currently have, which is, just fun and sexy.
Yeah. And even that's a great point, like using that tool, and then even pushing some of those buzzwords onto like the screenshots. Throw them in there.
I like it. All right. Daniel says, and I wasn't able to put a search ad for this app because it's 17 plus. Is there a way around that? Do you know?
Yeah, you still can. Yeah. So there's age restrictions that you can set in search ads in the settings in your ad group. You can just put, I think it's 17 or 18 plus, and that should allow you to start serving on search ads.
Right. And I remember there's a little thing where in demographics, you can just target females, males.
Yeah. It's under demographics. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's get into some of the questions. Daniel, you didn't have anything about the app itself, so I'm not going to go into it just to save time and give time to the other people. But if you do, just fill out that form. If you guys do want to get access to all our stuff, it is appmasters.com/audit. I did just launch a premium version of this audit so that we can sit down for an hour. So you All of that is appmasters.com/audit. Natalie, did I lose your camera?
Yes. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm trying to get it back.
All right, here, I will give you some time
Oh,
here.
good.
And then let me see some other questions. Okay, so Indu G says, I think making apps nowadays is a waste of time because people just use some of the top 10 apps every day. I disagree, Indu. If you look at the top charts, Widgetsmith is number 1. So there's always opportunities. If you look at some of our past videos, you're gonna find the most ridiculous, the most simple apps that are making tons of money. And if you can just, this is a strategy that some of my clients have used and some of my friends, if you can get 10% of that, like we're indies, right? So we don't need a whole version, but if you can find an app that's making 100,000, 200,000 a month and you get 10, 20%, 10% of that, you got a great business here as an indie developer. So I disagree with that. I think it's a great opportunity. Widgetsmith's a great example of why the opportunity is still huge. Okay. There.
All right.
Natalie, I'm looking at producing TikTok videos to promote my app. Should this be my name or my app name? Will that affect how I connect with influencers? Okay, so should I reach out as App Masters TikTok account or should I reach out as Steve Young's Instagram or
I
TikTok
think,
account?
yeah, definitely if you can from the business account. If it looks more official, and not maybe like as, if it's coming from your personal account, it might be a little bit more of like a spam feel. And these, if they're bigger content creators, they probably get a large number of inquiries. So if you can stand out with a business account or email, that definitely looks better, and you'd probably have higher chances of hearing back.
Okay, that's a great tip because I've been doing it with my personal account. That's probably why. Like, you look creepy, dude.
Yeah. They're like, are you sure you're gonna actually pay me?
I saw that live stream. I know what app you got. I'm not responding to the DM. All right, let's see. Parishana asks for the designer. So his question was how to increase organic downloads, whether ASO techniques can be used to improve rankings. Currently, all downloads are through paid Google ads. Really interesting. Okay, this is the Drinkster app, which is surprising to me. Natalie, when I was doing this, so okay, he's using this trick here. All right, so this Drinkster app, and then I have the Sensor Tower because my plugin for the short description is not showing up properly. But here's the app itself, and he wants to increase. Look, this is what's crazy. When I put this Drinkster app into App Radar right now, I'm a paying customer, and they are also a sponsor. But he's ranking really well for where are all my keywords? Okay, like drinking games, number 1, buzz, number 1, drinking games, number 4, and they all have really decent volume.
Yeah, I was seeing that like when I was just kind of like playing around with the search in on the online Google Play Store that they were actually ranking pretty well on a lot of terms, and yeah, that's awesome. I think that with maybe keyword optimization, like I wonder if there could just be more sort of like title and short description testing between some of those buzzwords, like more so of trying to find like some replacements maybe for buzz. Like I don't know if people really search like, to get buzz. They're probably searching more like drinking games, online drinking game. I saw that they ranked pretty well for that. Maybe testing, the difference of even like conversion rates. If you can even improve that, that would be, I'm sure, a huge win there. If just playing around with some of like the wording on the title, on the short description, trying like, I was thinking like you could try number 1 or best drinking game. Like, do you see higher conversion rate with just putting something like that in the beginning of the title, or trying to play around with like the best online drinking game, something like that. So yeah, because I just didn't see any automatic suggestions come up for buzzed. So I thought it was maybe taking up some retail space within the title, and in the short description, and potentially taking it out and putting in some of those like other buzzwords may help improve some conversion rate there.
Well, one thing I do notice from doing this research here, drinking games has a bit more traffic for
yeah,
than
then
drinking game as singular. And so I would try to rank for that particular term instead and see if I can get that from 4 to like top 1, because you're already number 1 for drinking game, but I would try to optimize for drinking games instead. And maybe like Natalie said, move buzz maybe into the short description here too. And then another thing I would say, Parishana, if I'm saying that properly. Oh no, Parishanu. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you PG. All right, PG. So the keyword install campaigns we've done, this is Gray Hat. I have a video about it. We've done a bunch of different keyword install campaigns for a bunch of different clients. We're seeing pretty good results there. So focus on that. What I'm thinking too, Natalie, is if you look at the Google search results, you see the icon, you see the app name, and then you see the download number and the ratings. So I'm also thinking like, I think he's ranking really well. So there's nothing there that I can suggest, but maybe trying to increase those and maybe thinking about, look, this is just a hunch for me, but incentivize downloads where all you're trying to do is get people to download your app so your Google Play numbers go up, and so that it just kind of looks more attractive in the search results when people are searching for drinking game or drinking games. And I'll pull my Android up so you guys can get a sense of what that visual looks like. But that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, for sure. Always rating and review optimizations. And yeah, I would set up maybe a small test on Facebook too, if you haven't already. Facebook or Snap. I think Snap you might see some higher costs, but I would start with Facebook and then Snap, and then I'm not sure if TikTok you would be able to get in with this game, or with this game on TikTok, but worth a shot if you can set up a small test and see if, like, kind of what you're saying, like pushing on just overall download volume will get you some better results overall. And then maybe like too, icon testing. Like I think the panda's really cute. Like I wonder if I think it stands out a lot too. Like it's kind of like the only game with that like cute little animal. But have you taken it out before? Have you put like a phone in his hand? Just putting like Drinkster as I guess maybe that would be more of like a branding push, but just playing around with that, or seeing if the panda really does have much of an effect, because if it does, then maybe even pushing that more in the screenshots. So yeah, I think that in terms of kind of like overall layout, this was one of the definitely stronger apps out of the list, and it looks fun. Like I want to download it and play with my friends.
Nice. The other thing I would talk to the audience, because he's already doing this, Drinkster, is you don't notice it here. And this is a great app to kind of share this with. You don't notice it here, right? But what he's doing, and you notice it here in Sensor Tower, is he's using H2 tags. And this is a great way to utilize H2 tags from the SEO days. H2 tags, because Google's SEO all about the web, H2 tags have the keywords within an H2 tag have a higher weight. And so you can see it here, right? Like these are H2 tags, but you don't notice it. And so what I've tried to do is actually put bold tags kind of like this to make these things stand out. But if you do an inspect on this, you'll notice that this is an H2 tag right here. And you notice it on Sensor Tower because they're just pulling the HTML. But again, you don't notice on Google Play. So I typically put an H2 tag, but then put bold, the B tag right here, kind of like this. And then that makes it bold and kind of, but yes, definitely use H2 tags. And I like how he's doing that for a ton of the keywords that he's trying to rank for. Drinking games for 2 people, couples drinking games, card drinking games, so forth.
I would like keep optimizations like that. Like I don't think you need to go all out and on the entire description. Like just kind of like where the fold is, like if you scroll down past the screenshots, like, for like a few seconds, where does it go to? Because there's probably a really, really small percentage of people that really read all the way through. So like if you can just focus, if you need to move some of those headers up a little bit more, I think that overall the description is really great. I love the formatting of it, and emojis are there, the bolding's there, the headings are there. So I think that using formatting and making sure that it looks nice is definitely a huge driving point to how kind of like overall this app is already positioned itself within Google Play.
Yeah, good job, PG. Looks really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, and let's see in this. Induji says, hey, Steve, what do you think about apps versus websites? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Like, are you putting the website in app form versus, not sure. Give me some more details. What do you think he means, Natalie?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he means more of like, like creating an app or creating a website, or advertising on an app versus advertising on a website, or like ASO versus SEO. Yeah, I think clarification would be helpful.
Cool. And then Arav says, we've developed social media platform, Android, how to get downloads from US. We're from India. Social media platforms are hard. I think like performance marketing, check out Incipia. That's what I would say. Like ASO wise, like who the hell is searching for like TikTok? Do they really need ASO? Like, you know what I mean? Like they need it's performance marketing. What do you think?
Yeah, pay to play.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely if you want to start to see downloads, set up tests. And I agree. Like I think that there's kind of like the big what 4 or 5 now, and after that it's going to be probably really hard unless you're pushing just like a ton of money on the paid side. So that's kind of what I would say.
Yep, I agree. Okay, let's get into our next app. I do want to kind of go into an app itself here. Actually, we can do that right now with this Drinkster app. So here's some inspiration. It's Friday, Natalie. Here's some inspiration for you. Some drinking games. I think you guys can see.
Let's do it.
This.
Yeah.
All right. There's something. So here, we'll go into the app, and then this is mine.
We're gonna play some drinking games.
We're gonna do it. Yes, I've got water. All right, we advise that.
I've got my margarita here. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, perfect. All right, so a lot of information right off the bat. So starter, tipsy, crazy. What do you want to do, Natalie? You want to just start game? You want to go starter? You want to just get tipsy for a little bit?
Yeah, let's get tipsy.
Okay, let's get tipsy. Oh, okay, see, I thought I was gonna play, but it looks like I don't get to do that. So I'll put
go ahead
tipsy and then hit start game.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put Natalie. Okay.
I can't play by myself.
You can't play by yourself. So Steve, add, and then let's play. Go. All right. Rule. Old guru Drinkstar is here with a rule. Everyone must follow the rule until he comes to another rule. Anyone who breaks the rule must drink 2 sips. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Natalie.
So I gotta stand.
You gotta stand.
I gotta stand.
That's interesting. And then Sergeant Dare. Commander has a dare for you. You must flip the card and do the dare. Okay, that's interesting. Steve, show out. Oh my God, how to wipe your butt in the toilet or drink.
We're getting real close. Yeah,
this is like King's Cup, you know. I'll drink to that.
There you go.
Gross.
Cheers.
Too intimate. We've already gotten intimate in this live stream, but I don't want to get too much into it. So like, from a monetization standpoint, I think there are some like ways that you can probably put some ads in there. You know, I think for right now, it seems like a fun game. I think the UI, you know, I did get messed up on a few points. I don't think it's a huge deal, but like I was hitting let's play before I, you know, added more users.
Yeah, and I think the one other thing too, like I'm a little confused because I thought that you can play this like virtually, like if I'm at home and you're at home, we can somehow connect and play. Right. Or is it like we need to be in the same room? Like kind of maybe some clarification on that. Or if there is a way to do it, like highlighting that, because that's pretty cool. If I can play with somebody I'm not with in the room. Well,
here's the monetization crazy pack. Yeah, so like when we were playing some of the games, I didn't even see the remove ads. So what I would suggest is if you have a remove ads in-app purchase, like put an ad banner ad somewhere around here so that I notice it. Because I think this is the biggest mistake that most app developers make. This is the main screen that most people are going to be on, right? And so to hide the little store button right here, like I would just put right here, like unlock, you know, kind of promote it a little bit. Kind of like, you know, Incipia App Masters, we're like, contact us, get in touch, work with us. Here's all our blog, but we're not like hiding our little contact us button in a little corner right here. I might put it here. I did think that these were not select buttons. I thought if I tapped it, I can start, but I don't know if
Oh,
you
so
can
you can
explain that
like
a little
do
better.
two. Can you do two at a
Yeah,
time?
you
Like,
can do two, I guess, if we wanted to if we wanted to go berserk.
if we want to get real crazy, real buzzed.
Okay. But see here, you put a little lock, right? This, I don't like this. I guess this credit card means we have to pay, but this means, okay.
Oh,
So this, put a lock, put an unlock in this, make these look like they're I'm
make it
selecting
more obvious.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah. But right now I think
it
that
is
would
a little
help you.
confusing. Yeah,
It's confusing.
agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that is good. All right, let's see. We got some questions for you, Natalie. So let's get into some of the
Cool.
questions. Natalie, you know what song I think about?
Mm.
Is the Bruno Mars song, Natalie. Every time I say your name, like
What is that? What song?
I think his song is Natalie.
No, you're thinking of Valerie.
Oh, that's Valerie? Shiznit. Okay.
Valerie. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. It's close. It's close.
Close. All
I
right.
got really excited. I was like, does he have a song I don't know about?
All right, Natalie, I've been reaching out to smaller mid channels, 10 to 1000 for my mobile game soft launch in the Philippines. However, I'm barely getting replies. Any tips?
Yeah, I think just keep going, just keep reaching out to new people and uh try to go even smaller. If you're not getting any replies on 10K, try to go a little bit smaller of a following, like try 1 to 5K, see if you start to get bites. Um and then as your app, becomes bigger, then maybe it'll be more recognized and maybe some of those bigger influencers will agree to work with you. But yeah, I would just say like keep a regular cadence. Like if you're doing it yourself or you have somebody else working on it, like pick like let's say Mondays you're looking for people and you're reaching out that day. Then like Fridays you follow up with them if they haven't gotten back to you. Maybe you do like one more follow up that following Monday or Tuesday. If at that point they still haven't gotten back, I would just move on and go on to your next set of influencers. There's so many people on TikTok that it's a never-ending list of like outreach that you can have. So just staying on top of it, and yeah, definitely try to work your way down on the followers. And you want to have like some sort of like influencer content that you test. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have a following. So it's okay to go with people who are not as recognized.
Yeah, Natalie said it too earlier on. They have a full-time person at Incipia doing this, David. All right, so it is a full-time job. And secondly, the tip that she gave too was use your business account. Looks a little bit better than using your personal account too. All right, let's get into our last one. How are you on time, Natalie?
Good. I'm okay if we go over a little bit. Yep.
Okay, so we'll go into this poker strategy, how to get installs, pretty much. So Jeremiah, like let's just get into some of the keywords that I kind of pulled up for this app. But any opening thoughts you want to start with, Natalie?
Yeah, I think these types of like poker games, there are just so many different games out there. So with kind of like there might not be as many games on the ASO side until you push a lot of advertising dollars out. And really, again, like that pay to play mentality is really what it is now. And setting up tests within a couple of those like top paid social channels on Google UAC, seeing what type of volume you can drive. And if that starts to improve some of your rankings, then I think it makes sense to continue optimizing with ASO keywords. But in the meantime, like obviously you can always do conversion rate optimization with screenshots, with the icon, with the title, all that, and see if you start to improve on any rankings. Is that kind of like along the lines of what you were thinking too?
Yeah, I mean, I just think like if I'm looking just at the keywords alone, it just isn't that much volume because it's sort of teaching me how to play, which I think we're all accustomed. I mean, I'm a victim of this. Like, I don't even read the instructions. Like, let me just get into it. So I think from that perspective, what the market is telling you and the keywords are telling you is just not a lot of people care about training. Like when I was fully into poker, I would read books on Doyle Brunson. So when I was thinking about keywords, I was like, are there famous poker players that I can reach for? Phil Ivey, forgot all the other ones, but I don't think they have that volume. And poker training and poker strategy definitely do not have volume. So the market's probably telling you that, Jeremiah, that there's not a huge market for this.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right, and I actually learned poker over quarantine. So
Really?
yeah, I did actually search some apps to learn how to play. So I think to kind of what you were saying, like if it's you're really trying, you already know how to play and you're learning about strategy and how to really win and like, all these different tactics and the psychology behind it all, then you're probably not you're probably going to find, like you said, books or videos and not necessarily apps, but if it's more basic, then I think that there could be some market out there because I definitely downloaded some apps to learn how to play and to get used to how to play. And so, yeah, I think it's just kind of like distinguishing, is it more for at a basic level
Right.
or is it more advanced? So kind of what you're saying, like that overarching deep or not overarching, but the
So a
deep
couple
dive
ideas.
strategy.
Yeah, and a couple ideas I have for this app would be there are poker forums. I think it's 2+2 or something. Man, I was
Hmm.
this was like 2004. Okay, so I don't know if these are still around. I don't even play poker anymore. But there are these forums, so check it out if there's some advertising that you can do. Because if there is no traction there that you're able to get, then maybe there isn't a huge market for this. Another idea for you, Jeremiah, would be maybe try to reach out to an influencer within the poker realm and be like, "Look, I've got this
Mm,
app. I know how to
yeah,
build apps. Let's use your strategy. Why don't we create an app that says the Phil Ivy's poker strategy?" And then you can sort of leverage his audience or her audience and be like, hey, this is what, like we're going to create
yeah.
a Phil Ivy type of app too. So,
I think that's a great idea. A really great way to spread, kind of like build awareness and yeah, just use an existing platform if you can find that influencer to pair up with.
all right. Jonathan says, how would you think of new keyword topics? I covered all keywords under alarm, long and short, but potentially there are other topics like maybe motivation that would be good, but I don't know them. So, all right, here. And then Jonathan follows up. In this example, you have poker covered, but maybe you should also think
Yeah.
about gambling, casino, all these other keywords. What do you think, Natalie?
I think the easiest way is just like use the app store within, like if you're on that, like if just kind of going off this app, explore around. They give it's really curated now. Like there's always suggestions popping up, or you can dive into that category and find ideas of what competitors are doing, and like just look at the top 10 rank within that category, and what are they doing within their title, like what keywords are they using within the first couple lines of their description, what buzzwords are they using in their screenshots, and I think from there it'll kind of lead you down a deeper rabbit hole, and you'll start to get ideas and into what more you can explore, um and start to like even Google or look at videos of within that sort of like category that you're exploring and get ideas from there too. So yeah, I would say start with just exploring within the landing page of the app that you're on, and then from there, kind of like going within that category, just playing around with the explore and the browse pages, and seeing what ideas you can grab from there.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think with ASO, sometimes you're just going to run out of keywords. Like if you're an alarm clock,
Yeah.
Jonathan, I'm going to assume you're an alarm clock. Maybe there's some motivation element. You're waking me up with some motivational quote. Then yeah, like go that. But sometimes also when you'll find if you're running search ads is those aren't good keywords. Like they're not going to be high converting, right? And so what
Yeah.
I also would have you explore is maybe you've tapped out. And that's why I feel about ASO. Like sometimes you're going to tap
You
out. Like
tap
there's
out.
not
Yeah.
much more that you can try to rank for. And so just focus on how do I get higher ranks for these main keywords and then
Hmm.
build up on that. And then run a search ads discovery campaign. And so take out all the main keywords like alarm that you already have that you're ranking well on and run a discovery campaign and let Apple find those keywords for you that are going to convert highly. So run that.
Yeah.
Look at videos on YouTube. We've talked about this, how to set up a discovery campaign, but it is super simple and you can run that and find some new keywords that Apple would recommend. And you put a CPI goal,
Hmm.
right? And that's the cool thing.
Yeah, we've definitely had that with clients where we've just everything irrelevant or everything relevant we've tested, and we start to go to the irrelevant, and then it just doesn't
Yep.
work. So yeah, you do tap out at some point.
Yeah. All right, cool. Natalie, do you have any advice on what kind of content posts that attract more people? Videos, still images, commercial posts? I market on all social media platforms, but not sure what content to use.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this is an art app. So I would say the type of content that's most relevant to the app, like if you have like canvases are your number one, I don't know, bought or used feature, then focus the content on that. And then I think it also depends on the app. Like if it's if you can use screenshots like stills or statics to convey the message of what the app is, then that works. But if it's something that requires like a video to really drive home the message of what it is, then and you can't convey it in a still, then I would say use videos. But yeah, we see like it really just depends on the app. If it's a game, usually faster pace style videos work. If it's an app, usually statics perform pretty well, and it's just kind of about, or even like short form videos. But in the end of the day, it's just about really like pushing what the top like features or products are within the app, and for it to look, it's a lot. Actually, I think there's a misconception too, is like it has to be really high quality production and look like you spent hours and hours on days on this ad. But actually what we do find is like a lot of times it's just the most simple videos that you think you're just shooting it out to shoot it out just to get some new creative out. Those tend to perform best. So focus more on a variation between themes. Like you have an idea on this concept, or even testing like this feature versus this feature, this product versus this product. And then as you start to focus your resources on producing one or two videos for each of those, you'll start to gain some data on like what's working, what's not. And then from there, you can build out and iterate even more. Okay. That's kind of the approach we take. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it does seem like something that you just have to continually iterate. I know Shamoth, you were on his podcast, but he was talking about like super simple, like 4 to 10-second videos with one clear messaging. Those tend to do well. And what he said was like TikTok like videos, like super punchy, quick and fast.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even do you can't have stills on videos, or you can't have stills in TikTok.
And did I mute you? Okay. You can't have stills on TikTok. Okay, cool. Reza's still here. He's waiting patiently for his app to be looked at. And so we're going to take a look at that. And then he wants us to focus on the screenshots, the app description, the icon, price, and tell me how much an app like this can make at its best. Give me a range. All right, Reza. All right. So it looks like improve your handwriting, learn cursive and print. Cool. This would be like a kid. Like I would love to have my daughter work on this.
Yeah.
And then it looks like I'm like, oh, do I need an Apple Pen? So
yeah,
that's sort of, I think get clear on who you want to target. If it is for kids that you want to focus on, then talk about that, right? Like, hey, improve your handwriting or learn handwriting. Like, I don't know if I honestly, Natalie, like everything's typed, everything's digital.
I know.
So, like,
I was gonna
personally,
say that
I'm
too.
like, do I need to improve my handwriting? So like, I think what you should go for, Reza, is the kids market and be like, hey, to parents, hey, have your kid improve their handwriting and they're learning how to write. That's how I would approach it rather than improve, just say learn. And I think that would be helpful for you.
Yeah. And to that point too, if you're going to do that, swap the hand. It looks like it's like an adult hand.
Yeah.
Swap it with a kid's size hand. And yeah, I agree. Like, what do you learn? I think I learned cursive in like, what is it, like second grade, third grade, like something like that. Like
you're the advanced class then.
Yeah.
Ninth.
Ninth. Well, I remember you start to like, I remember like starting to learn it, but I agree that you don't really need it now. So I'm not sure what the market looks like, but I don't know, like curious to like, I mean, I wonder if you opened it up to like iPhones even, but if iPhone, like I'm not going to sit there with my finger and do it. You do need a pen,
right.
you know? So I would say it's pretty limited market, but
All right. So he says, keep in mind that it's my first app and I launched it in the App Store with zero experience. I didn't know anything about ASO in the beginning. I had 2 or 3 downloads. Thanks to your channel, I have about 10 to 12 downloads a day, but it's lower than expectations. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good. So, I mean, you're making money, Reza. Like,
Yeah.
don't be, I hope that I can do this for everybody that pays attention to me, is be your biggest cheerleader. That's amazing, man. Like, it's your first app. You're making money. Not a lot of
That's
people
amazing.
can say that. And so what I would suggest is, yeah, like what Natalie said, maybe talk about the kids, have more screenshots with the kids, try increasing your price because parents will pay, right? As long as you have good reviews, which you do, parents will pay for this. So maybe play around with $2, $3 price points.
Yeah, actually, like you wouldn't have never guessed this was your first app attempt. I mean, the screenshots are so well put together, like better than probably apps that are ranked number 1 or number 2 in some of these categories on the App Store. So the screenshots look really great. They're clean, and I really love how like the keywords are bolded and kind of like stand out in the screenshots too. And same thing with the title and the subtitle. You're using up all the retail space, and it looks like you've got the buzzwords in there. So overall, layout is really, really great. But yeah, like Steve said, just some of these like maybe targeting tweaks might help a little bit more.
And I think with a higher price point, what that allows you to do too is, and a friend of mine did this and he saw tremendous growth, is run search ads, right?
Yeah.
Because now you have budget. Now you have wiggle room, actually, not budget, but you have wiggle room to be like, well, if I charge, let's say $5 for this app, given my ratings, great. Now I can run search ads and maybe pay up to $2 for it, whatever that, break even point is. And then you want to make a little bit of money. And so you can run search ads, and you can run search ads basic. What I would do is improve the screenshots first and foremost to really target that kid audience, and then potentially run some search ads and run it on search ads basic. Like you don't need to even figure out what the keywords are. You just say, hey, Apple, I'm willing to pay $1 because I know I'm going to make money. So you run it. And then it's a paid app. Like a friend of mine just like tripled, like 10, I think it was 10x his revenue just by doing that alone.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good strategy. And yeah, just turn on that search match campaign, let those, let search ads do its job and see what you bring in. And yeah, that could be a really great way to grow.
Cool. And then I want to end with this one. I was going to look at the keywords side of things. And so I'm going to do that real quick, and Natalie, feel free to jump in and fill in the time, but I'm going to put this keyword in here and kind of find out some new keywords. I don't feel like fully optimized, learn cursive. It could just be learn handwriting. I think my hunch says there's more search volume for handwriting, but yeah, I'm not sure. My market is
like
for
improve
everyone.
Your handwriting.
Yeah. So Reza says my market's for everyone with Apple Pencil because writing. I don't think so, Reza. I'm going to disagree with you. Sorry. Because whenever everybody says my market's for everyone, and I know you said my app with an Apple Pencil, so you're sort of niching it down, but you still said everyone, and it's not for everyone. Not everyone needs to improve. Like I get that it's hard to maybe write with an Apple Pencil, but at the same time, like I could be dead wrong, but I do think that the kid market is more important because an adult market, once we get to a certain age, like
you don't really
care as much.
And I'm thinking too, like, who are the people that really use, like, I know I have some friends in med school right now, and they use their iPads for writing with their pencil, but that's like the only people that I really know that use it for like note taking. So maybe trying to even figure out kind of like the market, if you aren't going to go to kids, like, I don't really think it's true. I agree, like that everybody's out there writing with an Apple Pencil and on their iPads. So I'd be curious to see what type of keywords you're going to see come up here, though.
Oh, I got ahead of myself and
no,
got it a little bit too. But here we'll try to add some keywords. Let's see, so writing, handwriting, and then you have cursive. How do I spell cursive?
There you go.
I have no shame, right? Like I don't even know how to spell cursive. All right.
Yeah, I haven't written in cursive. I guess the only thing is maybe my signature.
Right, it's me too. All right, so yeah, look at the search volume here. So there is actually good. Oh, I stand corrected. So there's good volume for cursive, but look at the difficulty, Natalie. Like handwriting has way lower difficulty.
It's a lot easier to go after.
Double and a little bit more search volume, and so I would probably put learn handwriting and cursive. You could probably get that right. I don't think you need Apple Pencil, but you could leave it in there. Calligraphy might be a good one. So that might be a better market, Reza, if you don't like the kids market. Maybe really go after the calligraphy art market. But that's how I would start going after those keywords.
Yeah.
Like, so
I agree. I'm just looking on like the App Store, what apps come up with handwriting, and they're all pretty low like rating volume, and I'm sure that there could be some potential to improve ranking. I'm looking at cursive now. See, oh, there's a fonts, but that's different. That's a big app, but that's different. Anyways, that changes your keyboard.
Oh, here I can do this.
There could be.
What shows up for cursive?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see what shows up.
Cursive.
Oh, and yeah.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah, fonts. Did fonts show up? Yeah, fonts.
Yeah, fonts art.
But anyways, that's a little bit different. But yeah, search ads, I would say for sure will be a really great way to see what new keywords, if there are any, that you can kind of swap to.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go into the final questions and then say goodbye and have a good weekend. We're gonna go. Natalie and I are going to play Drinkster after this.
Oh, yeah? We'll keep drinking. Keep drinking our waters.
All right. Floxic says, hey, Steve, nice to see you live again. I got another question. Is it smart to host giveaways on social medias and who have coupon codes where users can get a percentage off when buying something? Natalie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if you can get away without it, it's best. But if you're finding that, like, you know, nothing else is working and you're just not getting any volume or traffic through, and that's kind of like, you know, your next logical step, then I would say try it and see, yeah, if that does help. Incentives, I mean, I'm sure incentives always help. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I've heard good results, and these are probably people on a very limited budget, and so they're trying to think of creative ways to really hack it. We did one where for one client, they had over, I think, 11,000 followers on Instagram. So we did a 1-year giveaway. I don't know exactly how it worked out in terms of driving more users. And I tried to amplify it on a social media platform called Shoutcart. That did not work at all. I amplified that campaign, and the people that did, I bought to like repost, because I was thinking, hey, I'm going to post it, but I want somebody else to repost it. So I think it works if you can get people to repost it or have some influencer share it, because if you're just sharing on your own network, then they might already have your app. And so what's the point?
That's true. Yeah, we've never run, I don't think we've run it, at least not personally. I haven't at Incipia. So I can't really speak to kind of like success and trial and error and all that. So going off what you're saying there.
Okay. And then Fine Art app is saying that he or she has about 8,000 downloads, but also many installs. Is there a good threshold to know what the app is growing at a good rate for a new app?
I don't know if there's like a threshold, like an uninstall rate that you should sort of maintain. I mean, obviously the lower the better, but I think as you grow, obviously it's inevitable. I don't know if you could, I'm sure you could probably find like benchmark of uninstall rates within categories by App Store. There's got to be something out like that.
Yeah. And I think what I would say is go check out appmasters.com/audit. Like, we'll take a look at the app, right? And we'll kind of give you advice, because that's a high uninstall rate. It might be a product problem. And I'll have your app downloaded amongst the many others I've downloaded, and we'll go through the app and maybe we can help you out from a product perspective. And I know Lee Shosh also said, dude, check out my app, Yums by Sketch, advice for improvement. Again, fill out that form, Leoch. There's a long list. So fill out that form on appmasters.com/audit. Natalie, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate your time. The TikTok advice was so phenomenal. I got so many takeaways from that. The website and the service, if you guys want to check them out in performance marketing, go check out Incipia. It's also linked in the YouTube description, incipia.co. But Natalie, if the audience wants to follow up with you personally, do you want to send them anywhere else?
Yeah, sure. You connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to hop on a call or just message or just be connected. And also in the Mobile Dev Memo Slack channel. So can connect there through Slack. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Steve, for having me on. Really enjoyed talking about TikTok and diving into all these apps with you.
Yeah, this was so much fun. Thank you. And you're welcome back anytime. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week. We're going to have somebody from Iron Source, most likely, to talk all about ad monetization. So join us next week, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fridays, coming at you. And we're also going to be looking at your apps. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I will see you next week.